I have no idea what that happens. It's not any kind of system. It just feels right. There are certain times when I'm in the middle of an outline and I'm building the novel and I'm thinking about okay where it's going to go and then feeling my way through where it should go or trying to track the journey of the narrator and where he's going to end up. And along the way, there'll be characters where I think, oh, this guy needs to come in. Well, who is this guy? Oh, for example, in Lunar Park, the Bret Easton Ellis character lives on Elsinore Lane in this McMansion, and I wanted to give him neighbors. You know, I wanted someone to live by him, and I thought about this, you know, minor character from the Rules of Attraction called, I think, Mitchell Allen. And I thought, oh, that would be really funny because Brett in the novel went to college with Mitchell, who was a character in the Rules of Attraction, and that'll be fun to riff on, you know, a paragraph or two about their college days together. And I don't know. That's just how it happens. But, you know, I'm asked this question a lot. There is no plan. It just feels right, and it's just something that I like to do. Well, for me, it made the book a lot more exciting to write because I was kind of stuck on that book. I was scratching my head a lot while I was outlining it, and it really wasn't coming together in the way that I wanted it to come together. It was very much about a fiction writer like myself, but I had named him someone else, and I erased some autobiographical information. And the book just wasn't coming together for me. And I was like pacing around, scratching my head, wondering why. And then, you know, I have this voice in my head. It's the writer, I call him. And he said, why don't you just make it Bret Easton Ellis? Why don't you just try that and see what happens? And pretty much the novel was laid out the way it has been published. It was pretty much laid out that way, but the minute that I put myself in it, everything started to change in terms of the tone, the writing style. It became much more personal, and I became completely committed and more gripped by this novel than I previously was because, look, I was writing a very autobiographical novel. Forget the Stephen King shenanigans that are in the last third of the book. But overall, I was really writing about my dad and my feelings about my father and how difficult our relationship was. Wah, wah, wah. I know, you know, everyone has their daddy issues and their daddy stories, but mine were weighing heavily on me at this time, and I needed to, get rid of them. And writing a book for me is often an exorcism. And so with Lunar Park, I needed to go to that place where it was actually Bret Easton Ellis and not Dale Fisher or whatever the name of the character was at the time. And because of that, the book became alive to me. And it started breathing and seemed much more compelling. And then by the time I finished the book, a lot of things had lifted off me. It was, I think it was important to go there and important to do that, at least for me.